Hi, my name is Sandeep Serpali, and today I will explore a critical driver of a long-term business success of corporate governance and ethical leadership in global marketplace. So, using a Novo Nordics as a company renowned for its commitment to sustainability and stakeholder trust is our case study, and I will examine how strong governance frameworks and values driven leaderships and help multinational firms navigate the complex challenges without the compromising the integrity or competitiveness. So as a triggers, research highlights that government isn't just about the compliance, it's strategy assets that shapes the culture, decision making, and ultimately the performance. And so now let's begin by unpacking why this matter in today's pilot business landscape. So now let's begin by defining the corporate governance. So according to the Solomon, it is a system that ensures companies are directed by and controlled with the accountability, fairness, and transparency. So this framework safeguards stakeholders from the shareholders to employ by clarifying roles, responsibilities, and decision-making processes. So the So now the OECD highlights that strong governance isn't just about rules, it's about the embedding the sustainability and ethical practice into a company's DNA. In short, it's the backbone of trust in business. So now, what about the ethical leadership? So Brown and Trevino describe it as a leaders who walk the talk, acting with integrity, fairness, and care while inspiring others to do the same. So this leader create cultures where ethics thrive, boosting moral, performance, and stakeholder, stakeholder trust. As a Crane and Matin note, ethical leadership isn't an optional, is a competitive advantage in today's world. So now, why does this matter? Governance and ethical leadership protect and propel businesses, and they enhance transparency, according to the Solomon, and also mitigate the risks and build long-term resilience, according to Trigger. And also, companies that prioritize this aren't just doing good; they are outperforming peers during crisis and shifting market demands. So now let's turn to our case study Novo Nordics. This Danish pharmaceutical leader operates around more than 80 plus countries, and it gives employing like more than 55,000 people to combat chronic diseases like diabetes. And also, but beyond innovation, Novo Nordics stand out for its governance and ethics, aligning profit with purpose through sustainability and equity, according to UN Global Compact 2023, and also a prime example of business doing well by doing good. So now in slides 5, Novo Nordics governance is very careful, adapted, and also two-tier board directors oversees strategies, management executives, and also specialized committees audit nomination and ensure the accountability, and also diversity and independence are prioritized according to OECD. And also these frameworks balances the global standards with the stakeholder inclusivity. So now in slide 6, so now let's talk about something Novo Nordics does brilliantly done, and keeping promises visible. And also transparency isn't just about publishing reports, it's about showing your works like a math teacher who writes every step on the board. And Novo Nordics opens its playbook to the world. They share the detailed sustainability data, not just glossy browsers, and their board doesn't hide behind closed doors. They explain big decision to investor, patients, even the critics, and they actively listen to stakeholders from doctor in Nairobi to factor workers in India. This isn't just a good PR. When people see you are accountable, they give you something priceless and the benefit of doubt during tough times. And also think about it, would you trust a company that says just believe us, or one that say here's the proof? Ethics here isn't a poster on wall, it's lived daily, and leaders models behaviors outlined in their global code of conduct and backed by training and compliance. From the inclusive workplace to stakeholder empathy, Novo Nordisk embeds ethics into its culture by the Brown and Trevino, and also the ESG ambition are too bold, and they are aiming to net zero emission by 2030 and expanding healthcare access and also the ethical supply chains. And these aren't side projects, they are to core strategy. Providing ethics and profit aren't mutually exclusive. So now the challenges in global ethical leadership and addressing the cross-cultural differences. So even strong companies like Novo Nordisk faces difficulties applying ethics worldwide, and different cultures view rules differently. And a gift here may be a bribe there, and so laws vary too, with some countries having weakness enforcement, and this gap makes global ethics complex, according to the Crane and Matin. And also the adapting the across the cultures. Novo Nordisk's solution keep core value firm but adjust how they are applied, and their code of conduct stays consistent, and training change based on local needs, and also employees learn both ethics and cultural awareness, because understanding differences help maintain standards everywhere, according to the Novo Nordisk. And so now let's talk about the legal and regulatory complexity. And Novo Nordisk operates under different laws worldwide, like Europe's GDPR and America's HIPAA. To comply, they use local legal teams to adapt to each market while keeping global standards, and regular audits and training ensure they stay ahead of risks. Now let's talk about the case example, ethical supply chain management. Novo Nordisk doesn't just manage the suppliers, it partners with them, and the company regularly check the factories and the vendors to ensure they meet ethical and environmental standards. But the audit alone aren't enough, so they also train supplier and turning compliance into shared values, and this hands-on approach keeps the entire supply chain accountable. Now the continuous improvement and innovation. So Novo Nordisk's improvement process is a systematic and annual policy review aligned with emerging global standards, while their digital health innovation embed ethics into design, from data encryption to bias-free algorithms. So, and their participation in forums like the World Economic Forum ensure their frameworks anticipate trends, not just react to them. So now conclusion. So Novo Nordisk shows us how strong governance and ethical leadership create lasting success. Their approach builds on transparency, accountability, and real engagement with stakeholders. And also it proves that doing good is good for business. And also the adapting to different cultures and regulation without compromising core values. They have turned ethics into competitive edge, as the researchers confirms by Solomon, Crane, and Martin. Companies like that make ethics central to their strategies doesn't just survive challenges; they lead their industries also. And so, in today's world, the integrity isn't optional; it's the foundation of resilience and trust. And Novo Nordisk's story invites us all to build businesses that succeed by doing right. And these all are my references. And thank you so much for the time.